round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for this beautiful dance performance of the Magnificat. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest for the evening is the co-founder of MindTree, and he also heads the Odisha Skill Development Authority. Subroto Bagchi, ladies and gentlemen, has a number of laurels to his credit. He is indeed a self-made success story. Besides being an accomplished author, a dedicated father, and a loving husband, he also has had a long association with Mother Teresa and the missionaries of charity, which extends to over 2 decades. Today he's here with us to pay tribute to Mother Teresa. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest for the evening, Subroto Bagchi.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of the dying and destitute, and I stand for all the brothers and sisters of the home that Mother has for those who are afflicted with leprosy back in Jala near Bhubaneswar, from where I come this evening. I was born to a mother who delivered with me 4 other sons, so 5 brothers. And to my biological mother, I always said, why don't we have a sister? And I always missed having a sister. I missed having a sister very badly. So whenever I would look at my friends who had sisters, I'd feel very empty. Later in life, I was blessed to be touched by Mother Teresa, and though my biological mother could not give me a sister, but my mother, Mother Teresa, actually gifted me 5,000 sisters. So I'll tell you tonight, though I and my wife Sushmita were fortunate, blessed to see Mother in person, to be touched by her, but every single moment of my life, I have always been touched by my 5,200 sisters of the Missionaries of Charity. And I stand here because of them. Their love has brought me here. I have no qualification. I've done nothing in my life, me and my friends, to have the honor of being with you, of standing in front of you. I'm quite tongue-tied. All I'll tell you is the relationship with the sisters, very special relationship with the sisters, that me, Moses, all my colleagues at MindTree have had over a long period of time. Sisters are very sweet people, but they can also rebuke you. So today I will tell you the 3-4 times that I have been rebuked by the sisters at Missionaries of Charity, and a rebuke that I hold very lovingly in my heart, because in them, in their white sari, with 1 thick line and 2 thin lines, I see Mother. I feel Mother. Our real relationship with the Missionaries of Charity began way back in 1990 at an organizational level, when we went to the Home for the Dying and Destitute. Me and Abraham Moses, we went there to seek permission to come, and every other Saturday to come and get a little opportunity to do some small thing there. So there was Sister Josepha, who was frail and thin, and she didn't know who we are, but she let us in. And from there, at an organizational level, at that time I used to work for Wipro, and subsequently MindTree happened. A long relationship began. And once we learned to trust each other, we learned to love each other in the service of the dying destitute, the children of Sishu Bhavan. In the course of those many years, once Sister Josephat was in charge of Sishu Bhavan, And I went there, and I was always asking her, sister, give us an opportunity to do something for you, because we always felt that the sisters do so much, and we always felt that we don't do enough, we can't do enough, so we need to do something for them. And I come from the information technology industry, and I have this vanity in me that information technology can solve a lot of problems in the world. So I used to always think, why don't we have a computer? Or why don't we use computers, which will make the job of my sisters a little easier? So with my vanity, I didn't realize it was my vanity. I asked Sister Josepha, I said, sister, why don't you use computers? It will make things so much simpler to serve the poor. And she rebuked me. She looked at me very sternly and said, we can't have a computer here. I said, why? She said that the poor don't use computer. And then I looked at the telephone that used to be a rotary telephone there. I said, sister, but you use a telephone. She said, the poor are not scared of the telephone, but the poor can be scared of the computer. It was a big lesson for me. It was a big lesson to me to be humble, because we are continuously looking at the poor in our light. We have to actually draw the light from the poor. Sometime later, we had the opportunity of going to the Shishu Bhavan in Cochin, and when we're looking at the Shishu Bhavan and interacting with the sisters, learning from them, I saw a sister who was cleaning the babies in the morning, and then she fed them, bathed them and fed them, and we're downstairs in mother's home, and she came running, wiping her hands on her apron, and I said, sister, where are you going? She said, no, I can't see you now, I have to run because I have to attend a fashion design class. So I fell off my chair. You know, you come to Missions of Charity and you're looking at a sister who is saying, I'm going to attend a fashion design class. So quickly I realized that maybe she means a tailoring class. And so I said, you mean a tailoring class, you're going to learn tailoring. She rebuked me and said, nobody learns tailoring these days. It's fashion design. So what had happened was that this home, Shishu Bhavan, receives babies who have just been delivered. And many times, these are young, unwed mothers. And the sisters realize that if the mother now goes back without being skilled, without being economically independent, then society will not treat them with dignity, and she may fall behind. So they keep the young mothers and try to give them some skills so that they can be economically independent. And to these mothers, the time is over that you can teach tailoring. They may be poor, they may be destitute, they may come from difficult situations in life, but they have the right, as much right, to all the things that we think are meant for the sophisticated people. So that was the second rebuke I had. The third rebuke I had was after the super cyclone, every MindTree mind, as we call ourselves, contributed a part of their wages. And then it was a fairly, not a very big sum of money, but a fairly decent sum of money. So we said that instead of giving it away to a nameless charity, let us rebuild something. Maybe in Tamil Nadu, rebuild a school. Maybe someplace else affected by cyclone. So we'll do something permanent. Now, there was vanity in that, to say that we'll build something permanent. We didn't realize at that time. So first we went to the government in Tamil Nadu, said, give us a project. And then it turned out quickly that after a very large disaster, everything becomes very institutional. So the government came back and said, well, here's a scheme where you can be a silver sponsor, gold sponsor, platinum sponsor, and here we are saying, can we build something permanent, like a school or like a cyclone shelter, or something like that. And we didn't have the kind of money that we can be a silver sponsor or a platinum or a gold sponsor. So we went looking for something away from Tamil Nadu. We went all the way to Andaman Nicobar Island, and we found a cause, but for some reason it didn't quite work out. So came back, now we have money collected from the MindTree mines. It's been a few weeks over, and what do we do with this money? Because we are accountable, because you have taken the money, so you can't just sit on that money looking for a cause. So I spoke to my colleague Abraham Moses in a moment of desperation, and then you feel so small. On one hand you feel that I have money, so I have power, I can do something and create permanent change, and then you feel helpless because the opportunity doesn't present itself. So we spoke to Abraham Moses and said, Moses, let's speak to Sister Nirmala. And with great difficulty, we're able to get a telephonic appointment with her. We called, and Sister Prema was assisting Sister Nirmala at that time. First I had to explain to Sister Prema the whole thing, and I thought she will be joyful about the whole thing, that here is somebody who is offering money, because we thought that maybe the missionaries can find, missions of charity can find some way to do something, because we couldn't do something. Just because we think that we are capable, we have money, we have power, that we'll be able to do something. And then you realize, actually, the frail sisters can do things you cannot do. So we went helplessly, helplessly went to speak to Sister Nirmala, and Sister Prema comes on the line, and I'm nervous. I'm the guy with the money, but I'm nervous. I'm sweating. So I can feel Sister Prema's German toughness on the other side of the phone. I've never seen her by that time. So she says, yes, God bless you, who are you speaking? So I speak to Sister again and try to explain, and then she says, I'm hoping that she will say Sister Nirmala is going to come on the line. She says, wait for a minute. Comes back, Sister Nirmala does not come. And then Sister Prema tells me, Mr. Bagchi, Sister Nirmala thanks you very much and wants you to know that we do not have any project that can use this much of money. Thank you, God bless you, and kept the phone down. I want this message to go to people who criticize Mother. I want people in the West who say that Mother sat on millions. My sisters don't accept money. They kept the phone down, and I'm holding the phone in my hand. I'm holding the phone in my hand, and I'm looking at Abraham Moses, completely lost. Then a time came when the relationship is deepening, more sisters are getting to know us, they are opening the doors, they're feeding us, they're blessing us. We now need them more than they need us. We go, we run to them for every small thing and say, sister, please pray for this, please pray for that. At this time, one day what happened is the National Highway Authority demolished the flyover to the airport. And with that went the male section of the Home for the Dying and Destitute. So we ran and said, sisters, let us build this. And sister said, no, this is good, but you will have to go and get permission from Calcutta. Now it's my turn to go to Calcutta, the place where I had first seen Mother in flesh and blood. Because my first startup company, which ran for 3 years and then closed down, was between Mother's two homes in Calcutta. So that was my first connection. So I go to Mother's home, and there I find a sister, before I meet Sister Prema, I meet sister whose name is Sister Gerard. And she immediately reminded me of one aunt I had, my mother's older sister, who we had nicknamed as Lady Black Bullet, because you didn't want to come anywhere near her, you know. She was always looking to, you know, pull you up for deeds done and deeds not done. So Sister Gerard was there, and immediately I think that, oh, you know, the old lady has come back. And Sister Gerard sat me down and gave me a long lecture on, you know, why we do not want anything that is not the most ordinary of things, because we serve the poor. And she said, first of all, she said, who are you? Why have you come here? And I'm here pleading to rebuild a part of the broken down male ward here. And here she's rebuking me, asking me, who am I? Why have I come? You know, why aren't I doing something else? And finally, after all the things, then, you know, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And then Sister Prema came. She said, okay, you know, allow them to do it. And then Sister Gerard, you know, sat me down one more time and said, you must go and see the home we have built for the people affected with AIDS, and go and see that it should be something as ordinary as that. And I go there and I find that what she has there is something way above what we were planning to do here. And there is Sister Gerard, who's trashing me, suspecting that if we do something here, then it will not be good for the poor. So I came back laughing and I said, Sister, the one that you have built there is way higher than what we had in mind. So finally the home got made here, and there was great joy. So all of us went to feast there. And as we were being fed lovingly by the sisters here, one sister came and said, Subroto, Sister Prema wants to talk to you. So my heart is full, and Sister Prema is going to talk to me. And I get up and talk to Sister Prema. Sister Prema says all the nice things. Bless you. Thank you for what you people have done. And then I immediately get carried away and say, Sister, give us a big project now. And then silence on the other side of the phone. And now I'm nervous. Then Sister says, God does not want you to do big things. God wants you to do small things in a big way. I cannot tell you how joyful it is to see my sisters, and through them, my mother. My mother was always a saint. The world took 116 years to realize it. Thank you.